Now, what is IAP of a successful IAP, or ingredients of a successful IAP? Okay, informative content. Content can be as simple as possible, because you realize that either most or many of the audience might not have a good knowledge on the finances, and that is very much possible because that's why they are attending this. So try to simplify the concept. Don't use jargon. Use and try to include most of the concept that you believe into. For example, it can be a financial planning process, it can be a goal-based investment, it can be a health, regarding the health insurance, what should be the ideal cover, what is term insurance, what should be the ideal cover, a thumb rule around that, what are the different asset classes. See, in my IAP, I don't talk about products. I always talk about asset classes. I talk about the health insurance benefit, term insurance benefit, what are the goal-based investment planning, as simple as that. If you have a crowd who are a bit mature on that side, then you can cover something related to taxation, something related to SIP, SWP, some different or advanced concept. That's up to you. What is your audience? But to start with, you should be having this kind of content. Now, as you all know, we human have a left brain and right brain, right? Now you need to put some interesting videos and graphics also, because if you just put data in plain words, many of us will lose interest. And we being from finance industry, we feel that no, this is very important. But at the same time, it's equally important to have graphics and videos in your PPTs or your presentation or a storytelling, because see, you have a large audience, and most of the time it's tend to be non-finance background, right? So it's very much relevant for them to not sleep and to be focused on your presentation, on your whole 45 to 60 minutes of your session, right? So always use good graphics and videos, you will always get, and try to include that to make it more interesting. Include activity and quiz, as we are discussing. See, if you see any network IAP session also, most of them have a quiz. Why? We get to know about the audience well. Now, if I would have seen 80% of you have done the IAP, I would have cut down bit of this when I'm going to speak about IAP. But when I see around 45% of you have never done the IAP, or some of who are going to see the recording might not do IAP, I need to cover it in bit more detail, right? So this is how you get idea when you are getting involved into quiz and activities. So always include some kind of activity and quiz into that, make it interactive. Actionable solutions. Again, let's come back to QPFP. How many pro tools? Today we are going to, I think, cover 40 or 41, 44, around 40 or 42nd pro tool in this session, after this session, right? So see, though there is a practical knowledge you're getting in QPFP, but you get hell lot of tools around that, right? That's what I'm doing, actionable solution. You talk about, for example, let's say, okay, this is how goal planning works. Can you ask all your audience to note down what is your goal now, or what is the cost now, and how much it's going to cost after 5 years? Many will not consider inflation. You as a financial planner, you as a consultant, you as MFD, you know that, you as RI, you know that you need to, if something costing 5 lakh, car is costing 5 lakh tomorrow, today, after 5 years, it's gonna cost X, considering this much inflation. So let's give them this exercise. Then you can establish yourself as expert. Then you can say, you need to add this much inflation. This is the cost. Now, how to arrive at that? So this is kind of actionable solution I'm saying. You can do any kind of exercise, whatever you want to have. You can even ask them, what, according to what, how much is sufficient health insurance cover? Most will not say 15, 20 or 25 lakhs. They will say 5 lakh, 10 lakh. Or after COVID, they might say this, right? You can ask them, what is, do you have a top-up insurance cover? So anything which give them some actionable solutions. We have a gyan, even they have a gyan, but leave them with some actionable solutions. Give them something that they can come back to you and ask few more questions on that part. Your presentation, if you are going to do your own IAP on your own, your presentation skills matters a lot. How you speak, how you interact, what are there in your PPT, how you have to rehearsal it more and more times. You know, all the QPFP, we as a coming as a trainer, we go through a rehearsal without anyone. There is no exception. We do this. If you have a Saturday session, we do this same session for a panel on Wednesday. Even though we are taking lecture again and again, still we do this. Why? Because it adds, it also gives us perspective what else we need to cover, how we need to present this particular PPT, what else can be added. This is kind of feedback we get from panel and we improvise that. So if you put so much into that, it is going to compound, it is going to come back to you. So practice on that skill. Personalized content. When I say personalized content, my most IAP have minimum 20 to 30% slides based on that particular audience. I take a Google form, I float a Google form, I take a data of my audience and I ask them, what's your knowledge on personal finance? It's basic, intermediate, or expert. And there are few questions like this. How much health insurance do you have? Do you have a term plan? Do you have a traditional policy? Do you have investment in mutual fund? By doing that, what I'm getting, getting to know my audience well. Then I can emphasis on particular topic more. Plus, let's say when I say there are 92% of the Indians who have who don't have a sufficient insurance cover. That's okay. People will get some attraction towards that data. But when I say out of few, 45% never done IAP. Now, how you are relating? If I say 80% of the people don't do IAP, you have some connection. But when I say 45% of you don't have done, never have done any IAP, right? So now you can see what is the difference when I say personalized content, or when I say personalization, it can be another way of personalization also, like when you are doing, let's say for a teacher, when you are doing for a doctor, when you are doing for army personnel or a policeman, you can have something related to their profession. You can study some challenges they are facing in their profession and how you can address when it comes to finances. So personalize, it adds lots of value.